Recruiters don't place law students because recruiters only place people where there's a major demand for them and where there's kind of scarcity, where there's not a lot of people competing for the same job. Unfortunately for law students, most law firms receive hundreds, if not thousands, of resumes from law students. So the idea of a recruiter stepping in is nonsensical. There's no need for a recruiter when there's already thousands of applicants. Recruiters are used to bring people in that the law firm could never find on its own, that fill a niche in a certain practice area and location. It doesn't make sense for a law firm to pay a legal recruiter for a student because what a law firm is paying for when it hires a legal recruiter is it's paying for someone that's already trained and knows how to do something specific. So if the attorney can be plugged in to a job and knows what they're doing and they've already been trained, then they have value. Unfortunately, law students and recent graduates with less than a year of experience generally don't know what they're doing. They need to be trained and they need to have a lot of input, and that takes attorneys time. What a law firm wants when they hire someone is they want to be able to plug them into a position without having to do a lot of training, or at least the person is capable enough to learn on the job without a lot of input from senior attorneys. A law firm doesn't know anything about a recent graduate based on just the fact that they went to law school and their resume. They know nothing else about them other than their grades and what their resume shows. They don't know if the law student or recent graduate is going to pass the bar. That's a big problem. So if they hire someone and they don't pass the bar, that can be an issue. They don't know the person's work habits, like are they going to show up for work consistently? Sometimes people are flaky and they may want to work at home or do all sorts of things, and law firms don't know that. They don't know whether the candidate's really committed to working in a certain geographic area. They don't know how hard the person's going to work. They don't know what their attitude's like. They don't know anything about them. And so because there's so little they know about them, it's very difficult for a law firm to be interested in hiring them, especially through a recruiter. They're a risk. Law firms use recruiters to hire people that are low risk. If a law firm is interviewing someone with less than a year of experience, they're going to be very concerned. The reason they're going to be concerned is because it's very rare for someone to want to take a job with less than a year of experience. It generally takes an attorney to know what they're doing, or at least to kind of find their way around, over a year of training. In most cases, more than a year. But what they're going to assume if the candidate has less than a year of experience and is looking for a job is that the candidate may not be able to handle criticism at work. They may have been criticized and have problems with peers. They know that the person hasn't worked long enough to be fully trained, so they're going to have to be trained by the new firm. And they're just going to assume that the person is a major risk and there's something wrong. Some people get along well in organizations and others don't. Some people resist organizations and others don't. If you're looking for a job after a year, they're going to assume that you're resisting the organization, and you may have done things that have caused the law firm to want you to leave right away. You can look for a job after a year with a recruiter, but generally law firms are going to want you to have closer to 18 months. Once you have around 18 months, you can talk about how many hours you were able to bill. You're going to have a record of having worked on certain types of litigation or transactions. You're going to know how to do certain things. One of the important things for a recruiter is to be able to position any candidate they work with as ambitious and wanting to improve their career in some way, meaning get more of a certain type of work that's challenging, or they want to work in a better firm, or they want to do something more significant than they're doing now and they're sort of being held back by where they're at. So you can't really make that case for a candidate with less than a year of experience. They need to have kind of a track record. If someone has worked at a law firm, the longer they worked, they're kind of a proven commodity and they can be positioned as being very enthusiastic about working in a law firm. We can always place, candidates that are from a federal circuit court clerkship. They're rare. It's very difficult to get a federal circuit court clerkship in most cases. You tend to have to do very well in school. It's a much more competitive process, so that's something that law firms like. If you've come out of law school and you've gone into academics, teaching in a law school, doing certain types of research, then you can be positioned as having something special. But having something special in your background is generally what the law firms are looking for. The most important thing is if you're looking for a job and you're thinking about a new job, like 6 months into your first job or 3 months into your first job, you really need to stop worrying about looking for a new job. And the most important thing you can do is throw yourself into your existing job and give it 110%. A law firm is rarely going to fire someone with 6 months of experience or even a year of experience. What you need to do is you need to prove yourself and give all you can to your job and learn. After you have a year or 18 months or even 2 years and you have some confidence in the position you're doing, then you can start looking for a job. But you need to give your job all you can and really prove to yourself that you can excel in your existing job instead of looking for a new job. A lot of times people will look for new jobs because they're not correcting the things that they're doing wrong. And you need to figure out everything that you're doing wrong and correct that, so when you go out to the market, you can talk with a lot of confidence that you know what you're doing, and people will pick that up. If you are coming at it from a position of weakness and you're looking for a job because you can't handle criticism or you're having problems, then law firms are going to pick that up and you're going to get a much worse position than you would normally get, and you might not get anything at all.